These are the air intakes on the Diabo Roadster. They're slightly different from the normal Diablos, but you can see these are just massive air intakes. Just a little screen mesh in front of them. Will probably stop big leaves from going in there and that kind of stuff, but you'll still get small pine needles and that kind of stuff eventually getting in there. Air gets sucked in. If we look at inside the engine bay, you can see right here, this is where the air gets sucked in, and in here is the air filter that we're going to be taking out. And most of them are washable, reusable, and most of the times they're good for the life of the vehicle. They're rated in the, how would you say, I think I saw on one of the online sites up to like 150,000 miles or something like that. I wouldn't ever want to keep a filter in that long. And obviously, if they're rewashable, you just set it up as part of your daily maintenance. But if you look at this engine bay, it's all symmetrical. So over on this side, we also have the air intakes that come in, but we also have another air filter here that we're going to be taking out and going through on this video. So the thing that, how you remove this right here is they're just 4 screws. I think they're hex Allen. In fact, let me grab it. It's this right here. I normally use hand tools when I'm dealing with more expensive vehicles because I just don't trust, how would you say, cross-threading and stuff like that. So right here, just undo that. You zip that one out. We have a screw down here, a screw on the other side, and one underneath. Then the only other thing a person has to do is over on here, undo this clamp, pull this hose off of these intakes, and then this whole assembly should just pop right out. We'll be able to access the air filter, take it out. We'll look at it and see if they're the rewashable kinds and go at it from there. Okay, I finally have everything, all the four hex screws out of the cover for the air filters. And then I undid this one screw. The clamp opened up a bit, and then you just got to wiggle this thing out. So hopefully this thing all just comes out in one piece. Oh, there is one last thing. The bottom screw on this one fell down, so hopefully I'll be able to fish it out or find it somewhere underneath. So just lift this thing up, see what's in there. It's stuck on some carbon panels, so let me just do it with 2 hands instead of 1. And there it is. It's out. It just needs a little bit of wiggling. Got the clamp on there. This, notice there's no oil filter. It's down right there. And that should just pop out. And I'll go show you guys what the actual air filter looks like. There's about 3 or 4 different types of air filters that'll work. They all range in abilities and price. High airflow, yada yada. There's some air filters that you can actually spray with oil, which will help trap smaller particles, and then that way when you wash them out, it takes everything with it. But anyhow, I'll show you guys what the air filters look like. Hey, some good news. I was able to use this magnetic tipper tool. I have a few of them. Rarely do they actually come to, how would you say, to save my butt. How would you say? But anyways, I sucked this down and opening it in the side panel, and it actually caught this screw, but then I heard a jingling, and this washer fell all the way down, but it fell on the floors, which was good. So I was able to get everything. But check this thing out. This washer isn't metal, but this screw is. That's interesting. Oh well, you learn something new every day. And then yeah, like I said, this thing can really go out like 3. Okay, so I'll show you the difference between a good air filter and a clogged air filter or a dirty air filter. Basically, the model that the Diabo 99 Diablo Roadster, and in fact, I think all later Diablos, probably, I'm guessing probably from 98, maybe 97, I don't know. But what I'll do is I'll show you these ones that work for the 99 Diablo Roadster. And these also work for early Murcielagos. I'm pretty sure it'll work on my 06 Murcielago Roadster. Anyhow, this is the new one. Here's the part number. There's multiple different brands that make them and all that. This is a UFI, and if you were to Google it, etc., the part number is going to be 3088800 and UFI. I bought a pair of these from eBay. Typically, when I buy things from there, I make sure that the sellers have done thousands of transactions, or at least 500. And since they're car parts and that stuff, stick with people that have at least 99% approval rate. This seller had 100%, because you don't want to be buying shoddy parts or used parts or broken parts and all that stuff. You're paying for retail price on these. So, and these are actually pretty cheap. These ones that I bought cost about 40, I want to say 40 bucks each, 45 bucks. But if, and that's for each one, you need 2 of them, obviously. But you can see there's this little rubber bezel that goes around, and this will be snug up into that air filter. When I reinstall it, I'll show you what I mean on that. And then if you look down here, the ones that came out of it are actually the same one. Let me flip the camera over. Or I don't know if that'll work, but it's UFI 3088800. And so that's good news. So I know that since I'm pulling this one out, that this one will fit and be, how do you say, a right match. But look at this, how dirty and filthy this is. You can just see all this in, and then if you open up each one of these, you can see it, and really way in there, it's not too bad. So this one, I have to do some Google researching, but I know some of these air filters, you can wash them and reuse them, because they're supposed to, like I said, they're rated for a long period of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put in these new ones, since I've already got these ones out. I might wash these, and then maybe I might throw them into my Murcielago when I do the air filters on them. I have to figure out if these ones need spray oil on them. It's just a thin oil that you spray. So it really does a good job on collecting particulates and that kind of stuff. But I kind of question, why would you want to spray the oil? Because effectively, if you collect more dust and really microscopic particles, wouldn't you clog your air filter sooner? So you would literally be changing your air filters at a much higher rate to maintain a proper airflow intake pressure, and not intake pressure, but you get a high performance airflow, and that's what you want. The highest airflow pressure without anything debris getting into your engine. So there's pros and cons. I'm sure these people that tell you to use the spray oils and that stuff, they know what they're talking about, because, well, they're probably F1 or Formula 1 Bay Crew engine dudes that know way more than me, a guy that knows nothing about cars. So anyhow, I'm gonna wash this one on the right, and I'll show you after what it looks like after it's been washed. And like I said, I don't know if they're supposed to be washed, but if they're not, well, I'm going to be throwing these away anyways, unless they come out spotless and look good. Anyhow. So I was about to put in the air filter cover and intake hose. And then I decided, what the heck, I might as well give it a good scrub down. So anyways, I ended up cleaning it out. It's in really good shape. You can see Only thing is I think I'm going to start getting OCD on this. As you can see right in here, there's a little, I don't know, scratch. You can see there's a little undercoat coming in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some acrylic paint. Good thing for me, I'm an artist, so I have literally hundreds of different types of paints, and I'm going to go in and just do some minor touch-ups along the edge of that intake. The other thing I noticed is at certain angles you can see there's a little bit of scruffing, and I'm pretty sure that's from people like me bringing a wrench in there and then back and forth on the wrench, and then you'll see these little fine scratches in there. It's nothing major. So, but because it's out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some clear coat and just shoot it some clear coat and do a really light sand with a really high grit, maybe 2,000-3,000, and just see what happens. I mean, worst case is the heat causes it to flake off. Who cares? You know, it's going to be in no worse condition than it is already. So, okay, I'll go ahead and try that. While the part that I clear coated is drying, it takes about 20 minutes. It says it could go up to about 200 Fahrenheit in heat. It'll be close. Whether it fries off, that's fine with me. You can see in here I took some 409 and just went in, cleaned up a lot of the gunk and stuff like that in there. You can see I'm just doing this right half. Eventually I'll go over and do the left half. Yeah, I'm ready to get the filter in there and all that kind of stuff. We'll see how my clear coat did on that and paint touch-ups on the air intake. So I just used this Rust-Oleum acrylic enamel. It's a clear coat gloss. All I did was give it a really, just one pass of the clear coat, because all I wanted to do was fill in any of the marks. It did a really good job. There's still some hairline stuff in there, but I'm going to tackle that in the future when I have when it gets spring or summer. Right now it's below freezing outside, so it's like this stuff is hard and difficult to work on when you're outside. So what my ultimate plan is to rip everything apart this summer, and then give it a full coat, mask off these emblems, take this off, and then give it 1 or 2 full coats, and then sand it, give it multiple coats and sanding. And of course I'm going to run this a few times just to see how it holds up. Otherwise it would be useless adding more coats. You can see the corners, these scratches where there were white marks and all that stuff, they're pretty much all gone on the thing. So I think it looks really good. So I'm going to be putting this in, see how it goes. And here's the air filter. You can see it's perfectly snug in there, especially around the edges. There's this lip that goes in and prevents it, so when the cover comes in, it really makes everything nice and snug. There shouldn't be any openings or anything, once again, to get the maximum airflow in there. So I think we're ready to go. Hey guys, did my first mod. I'm turning my Diabo Roadster into an SV Diabo Roadster with these awesome detachable air intakes on the removable top. What do you guys think? Okay. Okay, I think I heard you guys out there. Hey, when I was putting everything in on the air filter, since I had my clear coat spray can out, I took this carbon fiber cover that goes over the hydraulic fluid reservoir in the right rear engine bay. And so as it was really dull and, how would you say, not very attractive and all that stuff. So anyways, I cleaned it up as much as I could and I gave it one layer. Doesn't look too bad, but like I said, this summer I'm going to take it all apart and actually do light sanding and buffing, and then how would you say, respray it with clear and do a real professional job on it. This is This is that carbon part that goes in and basically goes over. What you see there is your hydraulic fluid reservoir. I'm going to be doing a video that will talk about doing all of the fluids, which includes oil. It'll be this hydraulic fluids, your brake fluid, your clutch fluid, and differential oil. That'll be in a different video, but anyhow, just let you know where this piece goes in there. And there's the piece after I put them in. Those are just like hood release pins, or if you have any early 70s muscle cars. But basically, you twist them and they pop up, and then you can release for easy access. Well, I'm done with both sides of the air filters. I'd say if you weren't cleaning and you weren't applying clear coat to some of the carbon or that kind of stuff, I'd say it's about 20 minutes for each side. So it probably a 40-minute job to get both of them in. I mean, it's not much. It's what, 8 screws, 3 clamps, and that's it, you know. So we'll see how it goes. I've got more work to do in here. You can see this wood stick is holding up the trunk. I already removed the far right gas shock. The left one is still in there. What I'm going to do is have another video showing how to swap out them with the appropriate part numbers. But otherwise, I think it's looking pretty snazzy. As always, like yourself and others.